Got ourselves. Oh, who's it first? Is it Lemon? Lemon, my man, versus Eloise. Both some of the most mobile classes in the game. Woodwalker and Demon Hunter. The most amount of movement possible here for either one of them. Big damage out from Fist of Fury. Eloise can't break through. So I was gonna say Eloise can technically break through some of it going in for the I-beam. But I didn't expect for Lemon to immediately pop into the Condi and then immediately press the button and just... What was the damage there? It felt like it was kind of... Eloise was kind of okay, and then pop. At that point, like, how do you predict an immunity there, right? Like, if I was a rogue in that situation, I guess I would just, like, press cloak and evasion as quick as I could. But if I pop like that, I don't know if a cloak would save me, man. That's a cheap death kind of scenario, right? We'll divide cheap death at that point. Blush is going to be up next, charging onto Lemon. Got him bled up a little bit. And Lemon trying to see if he can catch up. Trying to deny Blush a re-stealth if at all possible. It's going to be a quick sap. No more dots on a Lemon. This gives Blush an opportunity to have himself a proper go. No trinket. No karma available for Lemon. Did order use karma versus Plush, or was that just a karma versus the DH? Full death mark. It does end up avoiding the leg sweep. Oh, it's over. It is so over. Oh my god. When you evasion a leg sweep, that's how I knew it was done. Because then you got full bleeds, full poisons, everything. Druid trying to see if he can get himself a bit of that payback versus the Rogue. Smoke bomb up really early. Trying to see if he can go for a knock. Roar to follow. Definitely needs to maintain his max range away from the Rogue as best as possible. This is going to be another stun lock combo by the Rogue. Pre-bear forms it. It's going to be trying to just live this the best as possible. Disarm for a second. Dots a rim. Got himself the procs. Got himself the DM. Hold on. Buzz does not have an out unless you got a sippy cup. Trying to first aid whatever he can, but the Druid is going to be on him this entire time. Maybe you can go for a gouge. Does Phantom for a second. Kidney to follow. Do you just turn this around randomly? He needs to kind of like an out. He definitely needs an out. Roar, trinket to follow. Just try to see if you get away. The dots are ready. At least you got yourself a sippy cup. That is keeping you alive. Barely, but it is keeping you alive. And for Druid, that is an opportunity to catch a couple of Rigros. The Rogue catch out a re-stealth. Disarm to follow. Got himself the movement in order to get behind the pillar really quickly. Still taking so much damage, but might be able to catch himself a re-stealth here if possible. Does catch it. No saps. Does go for a Garrote. Lock it out, Judy. With yet another kidney. Cold Blood is available. Is this where you just go for the kill? Kingsbane. That is a lot of potential damage. That is going to be a melt for a second. I don't know if you can escape or just run. Just trying to see if you can bail out of there. Does go for the Vanish, I think, yeah? Yeah, that was a Vanish Cloak. Just to make sure you got himself a proper reset. The Vanish, I think maybe is a Panic Vanish, but it does give you a heal. There is that talent for Soothe in Darkness, so you are like a emergency heal situation. Definitely got to escape and get out of that scot-free. Drudy's gonna roar him, dude. Catch them immediately. As long as Drudy can keep a distance with a step, that ain't happening. Cheap shot. He's out of bear form for a second. Kidney shot to follow. Building up some damage. That death mark very soon. As soon as you can get away from that, get out of that disarm. Might be able to go for full death mark. All your dots are gone though. So you're in a bit of a weird spot. Just trying to see if you can sprint out of there. In a rough spot right now. Actually in a real rough spot. I don't know if you got any kind of heal. Gouge for a second just to lock him. Maybe you can pre-evasion a bash. That is still a lot of damage. If Drudy gets a single Wrath on you, I think it's over. I don't know if he's going to go for a Wrath. Roar for a second. He needs to land a Kidney Shot to lock him down, I think. He has a Kingsbane. He has a Death Mark. He needs to make a play off of those. I don't think he'll be able to. Drudy does catch him with a couple surges. As long as he can give the Rogue like an arm's reach, man, so you just can't quite reach ya. Yeah. You're going to be good. You're going to be good. He found himself the mobility he needed. Perfect mobility. Well done, well done. That is a tough one for the Rogue, dude, because you technically have like Kingsbane, you have Deathmark, but it's like you just got to get close enough, get us done, line up all of those cooldowns together. Might be okay. Baya get hit with the Cyclone, immediate trinket for Drudy. Try to see if you can stay on him. Blind does not connect. Stun does, the trinket to follow. Bear from her after. Try to see if he can keep himself alive. Bruno to Baya does end up escaping him with the dodge though. There's going to be Drudy trying to create as much space as possible with those flaps. The disengage flap combo is huge. Catching up a little bit of healing. Got himself Convoke, could use it defensively. If he can somehow get away from Bayek. Oh, yeah, that's rough. That is rough. Technically had himself a go, but needs to get himself a moment to breathe for a second. But if the Pally just keeps staying on him the entire time, there's just no way, man. There's just no way to do it. Colbert is going to be up next now. Trying to see if he can get himself another kind of a setup. I want to join. Gabriel, motherfucker, join us, man. Every class gets one, maybe two. Oopsie buttons. If one get caught button, there's some others have like 5. True. Like, I feel like if you play Rogue, you definitely have a lot of oopsie buttons. Like, more than an average bear. But I also never realized just how little buttons some classes have until I started like using the new cooldown manager. Because like you have like the utility cooldowns and then the offensive cooldowns. And never really thought about just how many like utility buttons certain classes have and how little others have. Like some classes barely have any buttons, man. It's kind of wild to me. Big damage onto Bayek, got him some full magic immunity. Goerson just taking a pounding, just taking a beating. Does he have ultra? He does have ultra, so he's actually okay. As long as he doesn't get seared. Doesn't get seared crispy, he might be okay. Searing Glare does connect. That's an opportunity for Bayek to get something going. Goerson goes in for a full block just to recover. It is rough. You have Cauterize still, but Bayek got himself lots of recovery. That block does not give you a lot of health at all to work with. It gives you some, which is better than nothing. Are you going to try to go for food? I think he wants to go for a reset if possible, but yeah, unless you go for immediate poly. Bayek sitting down for food too? Oh, mana. He's sitting down for mana. So he's letting Goerz get a full reset. I guess knowing that Goerz does not have a block anymore, he feels pretty confident that he can win this duel. And I think as a Paladin, he can win. Got himself the Dawnlight. Dude, look at the Dawnlight burning through its shield. That Dawnlight absolutely melting through its shield if that is hell bar. That is brutal. Bayek just needs a couple more of those Wake of Ashes, double Dawnlights, and I think Goerz is done. Buffing Dawnlight by 50% is some work, by the way. Trinket into full blind by Bayek, just keeping the pressure onto Goerz. That Trinket is a very ballsy choice. There's going to be some procs out of Goerz, though. He just needs a big Comet Storm combo. He just needs a Meteor Comet Storm combo. That's all he needs. I don't know if he'll be able to. I think it's just over. I think it's going to be caught. Try not to caught. It is caught. Maybe you can shield yourself to absorb some of those damage, but it's caught otherwise. Oh no. I think it's over. He needs a breath, but I think it's over. He got him some Warlock Hellstone. He needs to catch a breath. Breath cut Meteor. I think that's what he's got to do. Meteor combusts out. There's going to be a Bayek backing up out of there. No doubt into Goerz is okay for now. Just trying to see if he can pressure Bayek with just offensive pressure. Still got damage. Technically got damage. Ultra's still available. Might need to alter this. Does get ultra, but he's still dotted. He's gonna rod though. Oh no, shields. You need a shield right here. Ah, oh. Yeah, that's rough. Who's up next? Is it gonna be Jay? Is it gonna be Rick? Because these casters are falling one by one, man. What's Holy Saya? That is a good question. I don't know. Do it bad? Question mark? I don't think so. I think for Boomy it's not easy. Like in 1v1 in particular, I don't think we've ever seen Boomies really dominate 1v1s. It's been a second. It's been a bit. They definitely don't have it easy in my opinion. Bubble out for Bayek. Jay just trying to see if he can waddle out of there. Maybe looking for the ultra really early. The fact that ultra gets dampened now is rough, dude. That actually is rough. The fact that you can have dampen an ultra. For mages, that doesn't mean they don't have that longevity anymore, especially as the game gets towards high dampener. This is going to be a full poly off of an interrupt. Does get him some Frostbomb. Needs a combo. Stunned by Bayek. Does he have anything to follow up? That's going to be full Meteor Shatter combo. That is going to be quite a bit of damage for Jay. Does he have any follow up? He got himself Lances. That's gonna bust through that Shield of Vengeance. Is gonna go for a block as he sees Bayek going for Wake of Ashes. Is that just sec? Let's see for his block. He's trying to see if he can put it on cooldown before he gets put in a really bad spot. Bayek just sitting down for some mana immediately. That's gonna be a breath out for Jay. Does go for a Trinket Shift of Power, looking for a kick, doesn't connect the kick, but does prevent the Shift of Power from continuing to pulsate and get the cooldown reduction for Jay. So it's gonna be a little bit tougher for him to get a setup. Frozen Orb doesn't quite connect, but it does give you an instant blizzard to at least disrupt that healing. Bayek, I think, is definitely winning on health for a time being. Big Wake of Ashes, Dawnlight. Jay may be looking for another block. You got shields, but you're looking for a block, man. You might have to block this. I think you have to block it. Oh, yeah, you have to block it. Look at the Paladin. As long as he got himself that strong dot on the mage, he knows it's over. It's like an Affliction Warlock, but like not a Warlock at all. The most opposite you can be of a Warlock. One is a caster and you're a melee. One is like super foul evil magic and you're like holy. Which is like most people see as good and or benevolent. For Xander's though, is it more like benevolent? It's more like from Loa. Yeah. It's like Loa inspired more than anything. It's kind of like, I guess the way I could compare it is like humans and dwarves. They kind of have this like priesty effect of the paladin, right? There's the whole churchy aspect of it, the holy, like Holy Spirit, whatever. While like Blood of Paladins is like, I'm pretty sure it's just like take like a liquid Naru, melt it down, and then just use it as a weapon essentially. So it's also this like connection with some Holy Spirit, but rather like, hey, let me just use that as a weapon. It's just another tool. You know what I mean? Does that make sense? I'm pretty sure there's like something like that in lore. Somewhere. I just like the difference. I'm pretty sure Xander's is... Anyway, I feel like I could go off on a tangent here for hours. More to Coil launch a bike. Does have him lay on hands. That's going to keep him alive here for a little longer. Blessing protection, not available. Soul ripped out of his body. May actually just want to grab it really quickly. Trying to go for Searing Glare. That is going to be Fear. Searing Glare does not connect. I think it hits a pet or two maybe. There's going to be more pets. Buy a rig. Buy could be in a lot of trouble. Maybe a Hodge. Does go down. That is rough at the end there, man. Romara is going to be Romara. No, Blackie is going to be up next. Can Rick bring it back for his team? One pally down. If he can go through a Hunter, he'll be golden. If he can go through another pally yet again, he'll be extra golden. Medium rare. Does go for a quick stunner. That's going to be Blackie trying to see if he catch up to him. Fear with a wall. Rick having to use his big defenses really early here. Does end up collapsing all the demons, all the damage into Blackie. He's going to have to go for Turtle Shell here really soon. That is just constant lockdowns, and those pets are just continue to do damage to you with a Tyrant to follow. That is just a lot of work, a lot of value. Does go for Turtle. Needs to get himself over to Rick. I think that's all he can do right now. He can't really stay and mess around with these pets at all. Like, the more he's in line of sight of the pets, the worse it's going to be for him. I think it's end. Yeah, it's the end. Does end up getting attacked there. All those pets, everything available. For Rimaru, he's got to just get over there, land a stun. Does go for the blind on the pets. Rick needs to find a way to escape this. Dark Pact is going to help him live a little bit. Axe Toss helps a ton too. Mortal maybe? Fear? You might need to get a Fear in. Board is huge. I don't know if you get Gateway anytime soon. I think waiting for Mortal Coil. Try to rip the soul out of Mars' body. Was successful at it. I think was successful at it. Lands a Fear. More pets. Fear spam. Back to back. Is going to have a Gateway. I don't know if you can just continue kiting for as long as possible. You just got to summon pets and stay away from Pally. That's all you can do. Summon pets and stay away from Pally, but I think it's over. Yeah. Yeah. At some point I was just thinking, like, is there any opportunity for him to escape? Bayek picking up 3, dude. The Pally damage, though. I didn't realize Bayek picked up 3. Let's go, let's go, let's go. Alrighty, boys.